Hi, I'm Jim.
I'm Brenda.
We're Heartiness Approach.
And hello to you all.
We're back!
We are going to do a storytelling time to tell why we've been gone and what we've been doing since we've been gone.
We've got lots of stories to tell.
So we left because our life was too busy. Working on our farm and doing all of the things that we need to do. And we were working at home, but for someone else, which he is still doing, but I am not. And we are, what else? What else?
We got dogs.
Well, I know, but why did we stop?
Well, why did we stop? It was overwhelming.
We were overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unusual for people to get overwhelmed, I know, but we were, truly.
Well, we were having fun just being ourselves on the farm, but this is what happened. This is our farm, and this is work. And work slowly took over the farm, and the farm didn't get to be worked on very much at all, except for chores. And so now he's working, and he doesn't work as much. All right, he's working a lot, and I'm not. And so I can still work on the farm. And so we're having more of a balance. And that's why we've been gone.
Yes, and we're back.
All right, so we'll tell you a first story about the cows.
The cow story.
The cow story.
We now have one cow, our calf Brisket. We took him to be processed, and he's now in the freezer.
He was 3 weeks ago.
He was big. Let's just say he was a big calf.
Falling in a hole.
We say that our big brown Swiss cow is capable of having big calves. He was a big calf.
So let us tell you what we found. So it was summer. There was lots of grass. We did not have to bring them up to the barn. So we just put our eyes on them a couple of times a day. Yep, they're out there. Yep, they're doing fine. Yep, their water's working.
We still have the same number of cows today that we did yesterday.
So we hadn't pulled them up for a long time, and it came time to pull the calf up. And
bring him to the barn
to
load him into the trailer.
It was a foggy morning, and so Jim went out with a bucket of grain.
We called and they just acted like we didn't matter.
I know.
They didn't believe we were going to give him anything.
We didn't even have anything to give him, so we put chicken feed in there so it would at least sound like we did. And he went down and had to walk all the way down there.
Well, I thought if I got closer and shook it, they'd come, and they didn't. But what was happening is Brisket, 15-month-old calf, by the way, weighing in at 1,330 pounds, is nursing. So Missy wouldn't walk away while he was nursing. She won't leave him, and he's satisfied. Until I got down close. I was there. Till I got down close with the bucket, and then he thought, that smells like grain.
Okay, but as he's coming, he's walking, and the cows are like...
I've got a cow on each side coming up on me. I'm like, I hope they don't run over me.
I said, Jim, what can I do to help? I'm across the field. He goes, pray! So he's running, and they're coming.
I wasn't really...
You were moving at a pretty fast clip.
Well, yeah, I didn't, yeah.
You did not run because you didn't want to fall.
I didn't want to fall. I was being careful because they're big. And
anyway, this silly calf wouldn't go in when he was in the barn. Then we went out to see what else we could get, and he just wandered right into the trailer.
We're trying to get him in the trailer, and he's like, no, I don't think so. And he backs out and walks away, and we're like, well, what can we do to entice him in? So we go to look for something. We come back, and he's in the trailer.
Let's shut the door. Anyway, sadly, he's gone, but he will provide food for us for a long time.
This morning for breakfast we had steak and eggs. Yeah.
So anyhow, but Missy, we were very
surprised.
The
rest of the story.
We were very surprised to find out that she was nursing. We thought he was just maybe using it as a pacifier. The next morning, she was full of milk, and we had to start milking again, or got to start milking again.
Yeah. We saw her udder, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty solid. That's pretty full. We better milk.
So we've been milking her for the last 3 weeks. she's ebbing and flowing, coming and going, 2 gallons, 1 gallon, 1/2 gallon, 2 gallons. It's just, anyway, this is our story with her. She is an incredibly wonderful cow.
Gentle.
She will nurse any calf.
Oh, I'm convinced.
She gets pregnant really easy, except that we haven't gotten her pregnant. We took her one time for 3 or 4 weeks over to another place where they had a little tiny
well, she
Dexter-able.
definitely went through a cycle,
Yeah.
and things were definitely happening, but small bull, not tall enough.
He couldn't jump.
And it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. And she's older. She's 13 now, and so to AI her isn't as successful as it could be. It could be great if you are AIing a bunch of cows and you're going to AI her too. And keep working at it till done. Perfect. But
for one cow, it's really expensive to do.
Yeah, because they have to come out and it's all the, anyway. So she will get pregnant with a bull, because as soon as she gets near a bull, she cycles and life is good for her.
Yep.
If you have a bull and you want her, we're selling her.
Yes, we are.
She's on Craigslist today.
The ad went on Craigslist today, which is Saturday, the 8th. So if you're nearby, we're willing to deliver within 30 miles. If you're more than that, then you'd have to make some arrangements. That's a little too much for us to do, but she's available and she's a great cow.
And so why are we selling her? Well, a couple of reasons.
This is the rest of the story.
I know it. We actually really want Dexter cows. We want smaller cows for us as seniors. Although she's the most gentle thing in the whole world. She would never hurt us.
I don't think there's a Dexter that's going to be that gentle.
We're not ready to get Dexters yet, and we want a period of time where we don't have to milk. Now, the thing that spoiled us so much is because we did have her calf, so if we didn't want to milk her, we just didn't. He just drank, which is why he was on her for 15 months. And it's a great way to do it. I would do it all over again that way. Because we could leave for 3 days and she would take care of it with him.
Yep.
And anyway, so that's why we're selling her. Is that story over now?
That's the cow story.
That's the cow story. Let's go do a chicken story. Oh, you have another one?
No, we have chicken stories. Let's go tell some chicken stories.
Okay. I can tell this story.
Oh. Okay. The first chicken story is not really chickens. These boards here came out of the rafters. They were fastened to the rafters in the chicken coop, or what we call a little barn. And on top of them was a huge pile of mess. And so we wanted to clean the whole thing out because it's really a place for things we don't want to be. And that's a lot of what was happening. So big job. Unbelievably dirty job, and for those of you who are concerned, respirator, face mask, goggles,
and
fully covered
overalls.
And wow, did I need it? It was a mess.
He was a good boy.
But it's cleared out. It's ready for us to do more with. But
some of this wood is pretty cool wood. We're going to chop it off. I've already used one place, and we can run it through planer if we get all the other stuff out.
Repurposing at its finest.
At the cost of wood, you better be.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Next story. So we have a lot of chickens. We have 23 chickens.
No, 21 chickens.
We have 21 chickens and 2 roosters. Now, I don't think one of them qualifies to be a rooster.
If we're going to tell the story, we got to tell it right. Right. We have 21 chickens. 2 of them are roosters. 19 are hens. We have 2 other fowls. Who are turkeys.
Now the turkeys are really big, and they can't come out the door anymore. So
they can, but it is hard.
Wiggle.
When they have to bend down like this, but then they can't fit through the sides. So
we figured on a better way for them to do it. We raised the screen up, and you'll see this, and they just fly out the window.
Out they come.
And it's pretty cool. And we have them right now in this electric fence, of which the dogs have sadly learned about.
We think that we have the dogs convinced that the chickens have a superpower of shocking their nose when they get up too close to the fence.
We got the dogs because we lost chickens to raccoons and fox. And then we found that the dogs were so small, young, that they thought they were great toys.
The chickens were great toys.
The chickens were great toys. But actually now, Jim, why don't you disconnect it and let them out for now?
Okay.
And the dogs are doing really well. We watch them. Right now, I'll show you where they're at. They're over here, sitting over by the barn. But because they've been shocked, they think the chickens shock them, I think. And the turkeys are always the ones to lead the way. Here we go. And then Jim, I've been removing that one too. Now our turkeys, we think one is a tom and one is a female, but the one we think is a female may be a tom. So we think the red bourbon is a female, but they both fan out. He has much longer snout than she does, but I'm thinking more though that they're both that. Now you can see them going towards the dogs, and the dogs aren't doing anything. So this is super good. Super, super good. Really happy about that. In fact, she says, I'm going the other way. That's funny.
They don't seem real afraid of the dogs.
And the dog, Zizzy says, I'm going the other way.
The superpowered chickens have got her scared. That's interesting.
I know. But look
Clifford,
at,
he's wagging his tail like
Clifford's just,
are cute.
Look at, see, we've done it.
Oh,
They're
we're getting there.
so good.
The chickens are running and the dogs aren't chasing them.
I know.
Awesome.
This is wonderful. Our next story is about us going to the, well, first of all, let me rephrase that. Every 6 months or so, we buy new baby chicks because we guarantee ourselves always having eggs. We never have a time where, oh, everybody's molten, they've stopped doing eggs and we have no eggs.
It takes like 5 months or so for chicks to start laying and get to the point that they're actually laying. And when they're brand new, they don't realize it's the wrong time of the year, or it might be molting season for everybody else. They seem to lay. So when everybody else tapers down, the new chicks are starting up. So we aren't without eggs. They're smaller, but we still have eggs.
So we were going to plan to get new chickens coming up soon. We were speakers for the second year at the Ozark Homesteading Expo
In Marshfield,
Missouri.
Yep.
And they had a lot of vendors there. It was huge. It's so much bigger.
It's getting
than it
bigger.
was. Getting bigger. There was a vendor there from Texas called Ideal Poultry. And they actually have all their own eggs, unlike a lot of the other places. And so we,
they had a drawing.
And
we
signed
entered.
up.
I said, I'm going to enter this. Rita, you ought to do this too. She says, what? Well, why? Please do it. And so she did it.
I won. 15 baby chicks. Plus I called them and said, well, can I pay for a rooster? And they threw one in. So we like
Ideal Poultry.
We do. You want to show this? So this is our, I want to tell you, let me just tell you this. You see the chicken on the bottom of this little container. If you remember Mary Ann, who passed away a few years ago, her husband made that for us. And so it's on the top. This used to be a feeder box. And it's got some vents in it now. And now we've got, I was going to say fishnet. What is this called? Hardware wire on there. And it makes a perfect brooder. We have lights on both sides. And we have 15 chicks. 16. One of them is a rooster. So we have 4 Australorp and a rooster. 4, I don't know, 3 I don't know what we've got. We have barred rock, which you can tell these are going to be the barred rock. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And some Rhode Island Reds, and then some golden the golden ones are a cross between a Rhode Island Red and a Rhode Island White. And they're very prolific chicken laying, egg layers. All of these are dual purpose birds.
Did you mention they were dual purpose?
No, you're going to tell.
Okay. These are dual purpose chickens. So for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you're saying, well, good for you, you're smart. And the reason it's a smart thing to do is because they're going to lay eggs, and these guys actually, all of them are laying over 200 eggs a year on the average. This breed does.
Over 240.
Like over 240 is what the normal. What's on my head? There's still spider webs in here. And they get large enough as chickens when they mature that they provide a lot of meat. So they are a meat bird. They're not like a Cornish cross sea monster kind of bird, but they're larger than some of the small layers are. So they're dual purpose, very useful, go either way, and that's the reason we have the rooster. This group is going to stay. I'm not missing the point she wanted me to make. This flock is going to stay separate from the other flocks as far as where they roost and that type of thing. We're even going to have them in a separate chicken tractor, so on and so forth. I mean, that's part of the story. But the rooster is going to help these hens lay fertile eggs, and if they don't go broody, then we have a incubator, and we're going to hatch the eggs ourselves. So every month or so, we're going to hatch a bunch so that we can keep that quantity. So this
for meat chickens.
This flock size is going to grow, and we will do the culling. Those that don't seem to be laying, then they become those that find their way to the pot. But that's the story.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. A little bit about the garden.
You done with these guys?
You want to get the eggs underneath that one?
Oh, wow. Did you talk about the seed, what we're doing with it?
No, we're fermenting. Oh, we're fermenting the seed. We're fermenting the feed, you guys. And we hadn't been doing that for a long time. We only could get pellet feed. And oh, that chicken was not happy. She only had one underneath her?
She's getting ready to do another one.
Oh, okay, so there's 8 right now. Anyway.
So let's show you what we got real quick to finish off the story. You want to open up the box?
You've made her upset.
I'm so sorry.
We're sorry.
So this is the feed that we're using. It's grain that's been broken down. This is where it goes. So we've got enough for, how many is that? 5 days? So it's able to set for 5 days before we feed it to the chickens, and they like it. They don't waste as much of it because they can't throw it as easy to eat.
It's better for them, and it makes our money go a lot further.
Couldn't be seen.
One of the main reasons we moved to the state of Missouri is because we needed to have 190 days growing days, and here they have 210. And it's October 8th, and I still have squash growing, tomatoes growing every day, carrots, green beans, and kale, and Swiss chard.
Celery.
That's too tough.
It's gotten tough.
Yeah. Anyway, this garden has been wonderful for us this year. We did it different than we did it last year. Next year we're even going to do it more different. But being right outside the door, it just gets taken care of. It's mostly me going in and picking weeds and doing stuff with it and taking care of it. But it's been a good place for us. And at the end of the season, but it's okay.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching. We really appreciate you coming along for our stories.
We are going to be doing some recipes and some projects. And if you are new to our channel, please subscribe. We're going to try to grow our channel again. Like, share. We hope we do things that you'll want to share.
Yeah, those of you who like what we're doing, if you get a chance to share, if you're on other social media with your friends, whatever it might be, let them know about us. We'd love to have more people along for the ride to hear these stories.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.